Yo, it's Hip Hop DJ Eternal 88. What's going on, y'all? Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe, and hit the subscribe so when I drop a video, you get notified. All right, let's get into it. So we got 50 Cent post 3 different pictures of himself, and in each picture, the first one, he posted a Young Buck song. And basically, the second one, he posted a picture of himself and a Lloyd Banks song. Then he posted another picture of himself and Game How We Do. And he said, this is what he said. He calls them all suckers and says he should have kept them hit songs for himself. And then he said, F the group, LOL. So he was just joking. But G-Unit does got some classic hits, I ain't gonna lie. Especially that 50 and Game How We Do. That shit was different, man. That shit was different back in the day. But 50's a wild boy, though. I don't know why he's dissing, called Banks a sucker. He said these suckers. I didn't really like that, I'm gonna be honest, man. Banks has been putting out a lot of good music for years now, even way after the G-Unit shit. So I don't know why you can't ever give him his flowers on that. He acts like he don't even make music. And he does. You know what I'm saying? It may not be Billboard hits and shit, but it's his music that he likes to make. And if you're a real fan of Lloyd Banks, then you understand and you dig it. You know what I mean? And I like it personally. You know what I'm saying? I actually love it. I think his albums are great. But that's just how I feel. You know what I mean? Let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section. Not just 50 being 50, though. I ain't tripping. 50's one of my favorite rappers as well. Then we got Sheff G, y'all. Sheff G says he posts this post. Mind you, Sheff G just got locked up recently to do, I think, 5 years or something like that. I'm not real sure, but it's a little while, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, he says, Marcy Correctional Facility is holding me and kicking me out of general population and putting me in a handicapped dorm. It's against my rights, and they threatened me about being a rapper. They took all my shit, cuffed me for 2 hours outside in the cold with no reason and no explanation. I need help, respectfully. And then he suggests that everyone call the jail, puts the number on there for the jail, and says, because what they doing to him is inhumane and unjust. It may be, right? But to be honest, it sounds like they're doing to him what they do to every other rapper. If you watch All Eyes on Me, Tupac movie, that's what they did to Tupac in jail. Like, all the same shit he just said. You know what I mean? At least in the beginning, that's how they're going to do you. You know what I mean? Don't break the law. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand shit happens. I've been in jail multiple times myself, but I don't never call home talking about I need help. Like, I wouldn't even think about doing something like that, because it's like, I'm not a celebrity either at all, in no way, shape, or form. But it's just like, I don't know, man. Once you go to jail, calling home and saying you need help, only thing you're doing is stating the obvious. You're in jail. That's how it's going to be in jail. Everybody already knows how it's going to be for you. So you just stating the obvious. But I hope everything works out for him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to Sheff G. Moving on. So we got, let me know what y'all think about that, though. Y'all think he's out of pocket for complaining already? It's pretty fast. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Then we got ChokeNoJoke and Max B. I'm going to speak on, right? And the reason I'm doing that is because ChokeNoJoke said this about Max B since his release. Check this out. Let's get it.
Show no remorse. He didn't say anything about having remorse about what he did. You know what I'm saying? He not telling these young niggas out here, yo, I went to jail. What I went to jail for was wrong. You know, I shouldn't have did it. I regret it. A man lost his life. Rest in peace to him. You know, my sympathy out to his family. None of that. No, I got wavy. I got jewelry. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, he's shitting on Max B for coming home and not apologizing for what he did, or showing no remorse for what he did or whatever, and saying that he's not like doing anything positive. He's just back to being like wavy or whatever. I don't think that's necessarily true. Actually, I could prove that that's not true by this next clip that I'm getting ready to play. But what does this guy think he is? Like, he's supposed, like, what is he supposed to do? Come home and say, he didn't do nothing. That's the thing. That's what he was fighting for, because he wasn't guilty. You know what I'm saying? He knew of a situation. From the outside looking in, that's how it looks, man. He knew of a situation. He wasn't involved in the situation. So what would he have remorse for? I understand feeling bad for the man who lost his life, but Max B lost his freedom too just for knowing about it. So I think he pretty much already paid for that. I don't think he should have to come home and continue to pay for it or talk about it even. You know what I'm saying? But he can say shit like he says right here, y'all. Check this out. Let's in the choke, no joke. But this is how I feel like if he would respond to him, it would be what he just said in this interview. You know what I'm saying? Because he wants to be a positive inspiration for people. You know, you hope he could do that. Sounded like he got a good head on his shoulders. It don't sound like this is his first interview with Billboard too, mind you. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's a great interview. Only thing I don't like is the interviewer. He asks a lot of good questions, to be honest, he does. But there's certain questions that he doesn't ask. You know what I mean? There really is. There's definitely questions that he doesn't ask that I would have been like, on. You know what I mean? But yeah, so ChokeNoJoke saying that, then hearing that clip, I think Max B kind of responded to that without even knowing he was responding to it, you know? So shout out to Max B. Let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section. Speaking of Max B, he goes and has an interview with Camron, right? And they don't talk about what everybody wants to hear either. Max B starts to talk about it, and Camron changes the conversation. And basically what that is, what I want him to hear him talk about, and what everybody else wants to hear him talk about, is his time with Jim Jones and how their friendship ended and what he would, if he wants to mend it, or that's what a lot of people want to hear about. But apparently Camron didn't want to hear it. He kind of wanted to make it about him. And the way he says this, what he's about to say to Max B, is just kind of crazy to me, y'all. Check this out. Let's get it.
When you got locked up and shit, you don't know the slander that I get. Cam, how the fuck you let it go this way? Y'all niggas from the same, like, what the fuck you, how to go, da da da. I'm like, yo, I ain't see the nigga, yo, I ain't see this nigga be playing niggas in and out of jail all the time, man. This nigga, I ain't see this shit was gonna happen. Niggas be ready to take my head off about this shit.
Because you ain't a prophet.
Yeah.
They want you to be a motherfucking prophet.
Yeah, listen, man. And I listen, I'm first tell you, I missed out and I didn't see it because you was too much of my nigga and I didn't see the vision. And sometimes what it is, not even talking about you, because you turned out to be something else.
You still got me in though.
Oh no,
You did everything in your. You was like, look, go see, bro.
Yeah, but listen, we boomerang. We here now. We ain't even gonna get.
No, I'm just saying, like that's how.
Right.
Even you acknowledge, like, still, like, damn, I got Jaja, I got this nigga, I got Rev, I got, you know what I'm saying? You said, nah, boom, but not to cut you off, my bad.
Nah, you good, nigga. We talking.
So you didn't see the vision. And then that's what you tell a man to his face, that you didn't see the vision in him when he came to you. And because Max B came to Cam and wanted to get a deal. Cam didn't see the vision. And he just told him that to his face. And then when Max was like, well, you did send me to bro, he's talking about Jim Jones. And Cam's like, oh, nah, we don't even got to get into that. He cut that off. That was the viral moment right there. Now, the only thing I will say is I think this is just part one to the interview. I really hope this is just part one to the interview, because it was only like 20-some minutes long. It ended really strange. There was no really good intro. Like, it just wasn't a great interview. You know what I mean? And I just wish it would say, like, part two coming, or this is part one, or, you know what I'm saying? Or even if that ain't part one, because I don't know how that could be the beginning of an interview. The beginning of that interview was not good for Max B. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's getting what he deserves when it comes to these interviews. He hasn't got a great interview yet, you know? I don't think nobody's really hitting the mark. And to be honest, this is just how I feel. I don't think that Camron is the right person to interview Max B when he first gets out. Now, could they do a little show together like they did? Yeah, cool. But no questions that I wanted to be were answered, you know what I'm saying? And when Max B started to talk about it, he changed the subject. That's why I shut the clip off, because he just starts talking about, I think he starts talking about jail again. He just keeps asking him about that. Like, I don't know. It's just an off interview. And what's wrong with giving Jim Jones his flowers? Like, Max was like, you send me to bro. And Cam acts like nothing happened when that happened. Something did happen. That's the attitude he gave off. Now, if there's a part 2 and something else is said, then cool. But his energy is like, he didn't even want to speak on that. And that's Max's whole shit. Like, G's up, we be getting chips, all them songs, baby girl, like, they pin the tail, like, all them songs were his biggest songs, and they were with Jim Jones. Not saying he didn't have a lot of bangers with French, because he did, but that's his history. And sending him with Jim Jones was probably the best thing Cam ever did, because I don't think Cam could have done what Max B what Jim Jones did. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. That's how I feel. Y'all tell me if y'all think I'm tripping, though. And tell me if y'all think I'm tripping that that's not a great interview. One thing I want to say is, like, some of the rappers' podcasts seem way too scripted. I like the podcast, like, To Be Honest, Let's Rap About It, and Joe and Jada. When I watch them joints, or even Joe Budden, like, when I watch them three right there, Joe Budden, Joe and Jada, Let's Rap About It, I feel like I'm watching people who actually have chemistry, and the conversations are good. It don't seem like they spoke on everything that they're going to do and say in the interview. But when you watch a Cam joint, it seems like the whole shit is like a movie, scripted. Like, it don't seem like he's coming off the top with nothing, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? It seems way too scripted, and Cam's vibes just be off for me. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Maybe I'm tripping. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. So 6ix9ine, y'all. 6ix9ine tells Aiden Ross that he could have got with Nicki Minaj. He says he actually had the opportunity. I don't believe that shit. I think Nicki Minaj will respect it for him having that much confidence in himself. Nicki Minaj ain't gonna get mad at him for saying that, I don't think, just because of that alone. But I think that's a little out of pocket to say, especially if it isn't true. Even if it is, it's kind of weird to say, you know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. But anyway, speaking of 6ix9ine, man, this whole robbery situation is kind of crazy, right? And then you see Jack Doherty and the Island Boy hanging out in a closet together. They look real happy and shit, you know what I mean? It just seems like a real sketchy situation, because, you know, people were saying that was the Island Boys in that crib. And 6ix9ine even tells Aiden Ross that it was some white kids that did it. And he tells Aiden Ross that the government is investigating him for staging that shit, y'all. Y'all thought I was bullshitting. You can't stage a robbery. You're a felon on parole, and you got people with guns in your house. If you stage that, that means you hired them to do that. But this is what 6ix9ine said himself, y'all. And he said some other wild bullshit. Check this out. Let's get it.
I just had a home invasion, right? When my mom got put at gunpoint, they waited for me to leave my house. It was nobody from the outside. It's somebody in this gated community, because there was no car that came in and no car that left. Somebody out of 233 homes where I live at saw that I was on stream. White boys took advantage of my mom's kindness and did that shit. The government is, I won't say who in the government was so dirty to question me like if I had something to do with my own home invasion. That's fucking disgusting. So when I say not legal, it's because the government, listen, is so dirty they would use this for my sentencing to say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything. That's the only reason I say no legal, because the government is fucking disgusting.
I can vouch.
After I fucking sat down and testified, because people was planning to kill me, I helped the government. That's the same government that's trying to put me in jail right now.
I don't know, y'all. If he staged this shit, all them people that were involved could get in some shit, because this is some really strange shit to stage, you know? And he says he's pressing charges on these guys now, too. That's what he's saying. He's sending all this to Aiden Ross. So if none of this stuff happens, we know this shit was staged. You know what I mean? Like, we don't hear nothing else about it or whatever. We know it was staged, but I feel like it wouldn't be good for the cops to find out. And 6ix9ine just saying right there, oh, I helped the government take down these people. Well, he snitched on people. He said the same government's trying to put me in jail. Like, he's a victim, bro. You're not a victim, bro. You were a victim. Well, you at least thought you were a victim with the Treyway shit, right? So that gave you enough reason to tell. You're not a victim in this situation, bro. You did crimes. You have to pay for your crimes like everybody else. You don't, just because you snitched one time, you don't get a get out jail free card for the rest of your life. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? The same government's trying to lock me up that I worked for. What the fuck you think's gonna happen? You break the law. What you think you just snitch one time and then the rest of your life, oh, I'm never gonna have to go to jail. They're gonna let me off every time. Like, bro, no. But they probably will let him off. That's the funny thing about it, is they probably will. I can't see him doing no more than 3 months max. No more. I guarantee you he won't do no more than 3 months, if he even goes to jail at all. And he's still complaining about it. I don't know, y'all. It's like one too many things you see about somebody where you're just like, damn, this motherfucker's fucked up. This is a bad person. You know what I'm saying? I don't see none of his kids, you know. I don't know, man. Just don't seem like a great guy to me. And these streamers all hanging out with him, he'll end up getting some of these guys in trouble. I'm going to be honest. That's how I feel. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe. Follow me on IG, and we out.